Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today we've got two replays to show you in the Tier 10 American Premium Tank Destroyer, the T114 Bat, where we are platooned up with our pal Swindle 321 and fine margins here. There is 2 enemy light tanks in the game and 1 enemy artillery, and we are on Highway, or the spooky version of Highway. So we have this spawn, to be honest, is I would say the least favourite spawn. I much prefer the other side because you can get underneath the ridge quickly and light all the tanks up on the ridge, and it's a good opportunity to pick up lots of assistance. Where this side you kind of force, to sort of camp on this sort of ridge at the start of the side, but we do manage to get here quite early and actually get a good start to this game by spotting the cross and picking up 1,500 assistance straight off the back of the game, which is always really handy. I do love this tank. I think I've got a couple of replays in it. I've done the 3 mark, and I've just had a couple more replays I just wanted to show you. And you can see the start of this game just goes perfectly because we're just picking up this assistance. I'm not firing my gun right now because I didn't want to lose the concealment as I fired. You see there, the second I fire my shot, I get detected for it. But I did want to try and take out the enemy light tank because it just makes our life a lot easier. And as you can see, great start to the game with 3,000 assistance and just on this reload. You're never really out of the fight that long on this tank because the reload really isn't that long. And I've decided that I'm actually just going to push I'm thinking, I should say, about pushing into the town and helping kill those tanks. Because if I can win the town area, then I can kind of try and push up to round to the back of their spawn and try and spot, and get behind enemy tanks. Which is at least my plan at the start of this game. So far I've got no damage, but I have picked up 3,500 assistance. Still a very even game at the moment, 13 versus 13. But it looks like we've got the edge in the town, and I'm thinking if I can just help my team win that just that little bit quicker, then we can then just try and get round on the enemy team. Because otherwise you end up just getting stuck in that one position, and it can get a little bit boring and a little bit campy. And I don't really want to do that because this tank does have quite slow shell velocity. So I want to just try and find an engagement where I can get in to fight some tanks. So I swapped to a small mini map here because I want to know exactly where the small tanks are. Unfortunately, this chisel is just pushing me out into the open, which is never ideal. We do manage to shut down that tank destroyer, but then we eat one off that IS-3-2 for that. Like I said, I wanted to take a different angle, but I was just getting pushed out by my friendly teammate there, which was not great. We do finish off at IS-3-2 at least. We are down to sort of half hit points, but we picked up 2 kills here with our 3 pens. Picked up about 1,000 damage and 3,500 assistance. And this town is almost won. There's a couple of tanks we've got to take care of, but we do have the overmatch. And you can see the enemy team have pushed up to our ridge. But if we can just win this side quickly, I'm going to get behind those tanks, which is my plan. Because I don't think there's that much in front of us, if I'm honest. So we're on about, just shy of 4,000 assistance, 1,200 damage. And I'm going to push across and spot their base because I have a lot of tanks behind us. And rather than turn back to my base, I have the mobility. If I can just kill these tanks, I can flank round and shoot the enemy tanks who are in our base in the back. That's my plan because that's where the majority of the damage is left. So knowing that there's about 6 tanks spotted on the other side, maybe even 7, there can only really be 2 tanks left up on this side of the spawn. So I'm going to try and clear them out. One obviously is the enemy artillery, the enemy fun police, and we would like to try and deal with that if possible. We do spot the enemy artillery as well as a enemy tank destroyer, which we really don't want to get hit by. Got 1 more shot left in the chamber. Might need to go on a reload here. We do swap to the Hesh because this tank does have I think Hesh 180 penetration on the Hesh rounds, and that's really going to boost your damage. You've got 570 alpha on those Hesh rounds rather than the 420 on your heat of your standard rounds. So if you're able to pen those Hesh rounds, you can just rack up the damage so quickly. So we're looking to try and find this enemy artillery because we do know we can pen him quite comfortably with the Hesh rounds. And you can see here we leave in and we kept 1 in there. Hopefully we can squeeze in a second one though. He just gets into cover. But then an enemy Tyran that gets spotted, which we can also pen with the Hesh rounds. Unfortunately, it doesn't go where we would like to, but we do pick up more assistance now. Now we're on 5,500 assistance with 2,300 damage, but we are getting full sent by a bat chat. This is not good. I think he's only got about 2 left in the chamber. He misses one, I'm hoping, I think he's only got one left. I don't think he's got enough to clip me out. But he does get shut down with Penwood from the Hesh round, picking up our 4th kill of the game, bringing us about 3,000 damage. And this game is pretty much won now. It's just about how much more damage we can get. We've only got 1 shot left, so we reload and we're going to load another clip of that Hesh pen, because we know there's that Turan over there, and the Turan with only like the 30mm of armour, we're easily going to be able to pen with the Hesh, as well as this Leopard as well. So do have to be careful that we don't throw our tank away, being that we are on a 1-shot to all the 4 tanks remaining in the game, but also we do need to get over there if we want to try and pick up another clip. I'd love to pick up another clip here. One whole clip of Hesh pen could, turn this a good game into a, really decent game. So only these 2 tanks remaining, just full sending in at this point. I want to get there because, otherwise this damage is disappearing. So we're just full sending in. Penna Turan on the move. Can we get another one into the Leopard? We do. Can we get the finishing kill? Almost there, and we do at least get the kill. Bring us then to replay number 1 of this video. Let's just get to the scoreboards before we move on to the final replay. We pick up 5 kills, 4,000 damage, 5,500 assistance, getting the ace tanker there, and number 2 mates also have a decent game there as well. So that's it for replay number 1. Let's move on to the final replay. Okay, so we've made it then to the final replay of the video here on Raseiniai, where there is 2 enemy artillery and no enemy light tank. Now it is team destruction, so we don't have to worry about being capped out on this one. So it's just going to be a kill-all engagement. And initially, because of these spawns, it's kind of a strange spawn. The enemy team kind of already spawned in the castle. My plan is to push across to sort of the H2 spot as early as I possibly can. I want to get there as quickly as I can to trap them there and keep them spotted, because I know I've got 2 friendly artillery, 2 friendly fun police on my team, and I've got a potential to pick up assistance if I can keep these tanks spotted. As well as there being no enemy light tank in the game, it's obviously going to increase my chances of getting there quickly. Look at this tank, although it is classed as a tank destroyer, it's almost, well, it is a light tank destroyer hybrid basically. You can act as a light tank as well, because you do have that fantastic concealment and mobility. Obviously, not as good as a light tank, you lose concealment on the move, but it is a very, very good stealthy little tank. So this is the position we wanted to get to. We mainly just want to try and keep tanks spotted here, because we've got the artillery behind us. If we can just keep these tanks spotted, we can pick up some assistance on these enemy tanks. Do have to be careful, but I don't want to over peek here looking for shots. So I'd love to poke up and get some shots into that tank behind us or on the low ground, but obviously when we poke, we're getting spotted ourselves, and there's some nasty tanks, one being that WotC-100, but also probably tanks on the hill which we haven't detected yet, and I could easily throw my tank away. So I'm just thinking, surely, WotC-100, right? You're thinking that's got to be a prime target for the enemy artillery. So I'm just thinking, stay patient, just try and keep these tanks spotted for, to keep them detected. So I'm really the furthest tank forward. If these tanks want to come over to try and kill me, then in theory they should get shut down, because there's about 6 or 7 tanks which all have direct shots at them. So they can't really full send over this ridge to take me out without getting severely punished. So this WotC-100 is not really getting shot by the artillery. I'm guessing maybe that rock in front is stopping them from having a decent shot. So I decide, right, I'm going to try and move and see if I can spot some other stuff, because I think it's really happening for me there at the moment. So I just want to see what I can do. We do spot an enemy Turan, I believe, in the right hand side, and then unfortunately an enemy heavy tank comes around and shoots us, and we're in an awkward situation here. I don't like our positioning with where the enemy team are currently located. So we're going to try and get out of there and pull back into a better position. We do at least so finally pick up a bit of assistance, getting that 1,500 assistance. So I guess for spotting that enemy I-7, I think, which put a shot into us. So at least we're starting to get a little bit more of assistance now. And I'm pulling a little bit back here, but just because there's where that enemy tank destroyer was in the middle, it's very, very risky. And I think it's a patient game. So I feel like these tanks in front of me, if I keep them detected, I think it's eventually they're going to get fed up, and they might just try and do something silly and full send me. And at which point I should then pick up a lot of assistance as they move forward into a position where my enemy team can actually shoot them. But we are losing this game at the moment. We're currently 3 tanks down. But I'm not panicking yet. You know, we can't get capped out. My whole team's literally in one corner. My problem is if I leave this area, then none of these tanks are going to get spotted because I'm really the only one further enough forward to detect him. And here comes an enemy heavy tank. He's obviously had enough. He's going to pull in and try and shoot me. Unfortunately, I've got the HESH rounds loaded and not the heat rounds. I'd love to have had the heat rounds here because I can't really pen him with the HESH. But thankfully, my bombardment of teammates behind me have been able to shut that tank down. We do eat a shot for it though, and we are now on 1,000 damage. Waffy 100 again has had enough. He's coming around to shoot us. Now I really need my tanks to punish this tank, and that's exactly what they do. And suddenly we pick up 4,000, well, 5,500 assistance there for those tanks just getting absolutely deleted. And that's kind of what I wanted to happen really, because the enemy team did have the lead. They got frustrated, they try and push around to deal with me, but I just know I've got so many tanks, you know, who are able to cover me right now. Enemy Centurion, I might actually have shots at this tank once I've reloaded. I have swapped down to the heat shells, my standard rounds, but then this enemy Hori comes round into this position, and again I'm thinking this tank might be a good target for the enemy artillery. Let's just keep this tank detected as much as I can. It's one of those games where it's a little bit boring because I'm just in this one position, but I felt it's like it was what best to do. I could have just, you know, relocated and gone and fight up in the other side of the map. I just didn't want to leave this enemy tank to have, you know, just to be able to sit on this ridge for free and shoot essentially. Enemy heavy tank comes around to try and take us out again. We put one shot into him. Get unlucky we don't pen with the second, but again he shouldn't really make it. He's not going to make it. He's going to get shut down. And we don't really pick up any assistance for that target, but it is another tank down. And we're starting to, you know, to thin up the packs now. It's now a 10 versus 9, so it is still a close game. But the thing is with this tank, you can pick up damage quickly in a short space of time. So I'm not overly concerned that I haven't got a great deal of damage so far. I've got just shy of 2,000 after putting in that shot to the Hori. But I just know I can get a clip of that HESH pen and really start to pick up some damage. So I don't want to throw my tank away. I want to keep my tank in the game. But I am getting a little bit like, you know, I want to kind of do something else soon. Because the enemy artillery is just, you know, not really shooting at this target. But I keep thinking like surely they'd have shots. But I'm guessing where he's behind that hill, maybe they don't. Or maybe they're just looking at the other side. But there's not much else really spotted on the other side. So I'm thinking surely at some point they're going to be able to shoot him, or eventually my team might decide to move up to this ridge with me, and then that'll give me a lot more freedom to start moving around and playing if I get a little bit more support actually coming in and engage. But at the moment my team are just sort of camping on the ridge at the back and not really pushing forward. They're just sort of waiting to shoot what I spot. So I would, you know, it'd be nice if they come forward and then we can just try and get on with this fight. But at the moment I don't want to, you know, do anything stupid just to throw my tank away. I do see the enemy friendly artillery starting to put shots in this side though, so now I know at least they are facing this way, which is handy. And if they can just like, you know, force that Hori to move at least, then I might be able to try and do something else. I am going to try and go on a bit more of a run now. Unfortunately I get hit by the artillery. Thankfully he doesn't pen there, but we do spot this enemy I-7 on top of the hill. He should, I would have thought he can get shot by our teammates here. And that is exactly what happens. I pick up some more assistance. He gets put down onto a one shot, and we're now on 4,000 assistance. Enemy artillery is trying to kill us. I would like to be able to get some shots into those artillery and take my revenge later, but we just need to be patient, and then maybe we can get an opportunity to do that. There's still, what, 8 tanks in the game, so this is still very, very throwable. I know 2 tanks at least are on the other side because I saw them get spotted earlier. I'm worried that there's like tanks in the sort of like E sort of 4 position which can shoot us when we try and move around that side, or I could get shot in the side by the tanks like the B5. So I've got to be a little bit careful. I'm just going to keep this again ORI detected because I know my artillery shells are coming in now, and if we can just take care of this tank, or maybe he'll get frustrated and just, you know, throw his tank away. Yeah, once this ORI's destroyed, it actually gives me so much more freedom where I can actually go. And I can probably start to detect the enemy artillery tanks, and that's just what I'm doing. I'm just waiting patiently here. Don't want to, like I say, don't want to throw my tank away. Well, we know we can pick up the win here if we're just patient. And we now have support with a friendly tank destroyer coming into this location to help us. And if we can go in together and battle this tank, we might be able to you know, start to get some work, get them distracted, force them to move. At the moment, you see I keep getting spotted as well. So I guess it's probably not the most fun replay, just because I'm in this same position for a lot. But I guess it shows that sometimes you do just have to be patient. You're not always zooming across the map. And we have started to take map control though in the north. You can see we've started to move across. So we're going to start to pincer these tanks. Enemy T30 gets spotted and we slap a shot into him, picking up our first kill of the game, putting us under 2,000 damage, and now into a 10 versus 6. I'm going on reload to load a fresh shot of kills, and then I'm thinking about going out and just trying to get some damage out of this game now, because we've started to take the lead, we've started to take the map. Enemy team are sort of getting pushed back, and it's probably about that time where we can start to try and move and do some more things here. So you see, we're just trying to lose this spot, because I think that Centurion's still in that position. Would like to try and just finish that tank out if I can, but now my team have finally moved up to this ridge. We can try and move up and do a few things, so we can actually start to get in a fight now. Pick up some more assistance, put us into 5,200. It's 5,400 assistance with 2,000 damage. So we're having a decent game, but I would like to get some more damage out of this. You can see the artillery is still relentlessly trying to shoot at us here, but we might be able to get our revenge now. We know exactly where the artillery is. They're going to be in a sort of J2 location, and we can try and, you know, now our team's actually moved up out of that sort of corner. We've got more control on the map, a lot more freedom, and it's just about, can we get there to get the shots into those enemy artilleries. So we're moving up. We do only have 2 shells left in the clip here. I would, you know, maybe like to have a full clip in, but I don't know if I'm going to run across any tanks around this corner. And we do spot an enemy Ruthless. He is a 2-shot to us and he's not paying attention, so we've got time to take him out. This was a tank which I was worried about getting shot by earlier, so I knew there was likely to be a tank in that sort of location covering. Now we're going to load the Hesh rounds, because we're coming up against the enemy artillery and the enemy Death Star, you know, all of which we can easily pen with our 180 penetration on the Hesh, which will massively boost our damage. So here we go, we find the artillery, we finally get revenge. We should be able to kill him in 3 shots here because of that you know, high Hesh alpha. And we do, picking up our second kill, putting us under 4,000 damage. 2 tanks remaining, 1 enemy artillery, which I believe is going to get shut down by our friendly tanks. I'm just trying to find the enemy Death Star and hope that he's healthy. And he is full health. It looks like he's going to try and shoot our teammate. Will give us the window of opportunity to dump our Hesh pen in here and maybe pick up a 3rd kill. And that's exactly what we do, and brings us an end to the replay. And we finish that one off with 5,000 assistance. I think about 5,000 damage, about 10k combined there with 3 kills. And yeah, decent little game, picking up the ace tanker again. But thank you so much for your support, and as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!